Hello, Michigan Realtors, and welcome back to another edition of From the Mailbag. I'm Becky Gean, and today's Q&A dovetails with this month's Letter of the Law video, which addressed the trending use of escalation clauses. With that, let's dive in and answer some questions from the mailbag. Question 1. Is there model escalation clause language available? Yes, Michigan Realtors has drafted a model escalation clause addendum, which can be found at our legal resource page and is also linked in the description. Realtors, of course, are not obligated to use this form. This form was really only drafted as a way to help agents walk their buyer clients through all of the legal issues that need to be considered before using an escalation clause, and also to allow buyers to spell out exactly how they want their escalation clause to work. Question 2. How is the purchase price calculated when a seller receives multiple offers that all include escalation clauses? The answer here will completely depend on how the escalation clause is drafted. This is why when using an escalation clause, a buyer should include language that spells out exactly how their escalated purchase price will be calculated in the event that a seller receives other offers that also include escalation clauses. If a buyer wants to avoid multiple escalations, they could include language that specifically excludes other competing offers that also include escalation clauses from being used to escalate their offer. The model escalation addendum that's provided by Michigan Realtors does give buyers the option to include that language. Question 3. My buyer submitted an offer with an escalation clause and the offer was accepted. Can my buyer request copies of the competing offers to make sure that their escalation clause is being triggered appropriately? The buyer can certainly request to see copies of competing offers, but as a general rule, the seller is not obligated to comply with that request. That being said, the buyer could include language in their escalation clause that would require the seller to provide a copy of any bona fide competing offer that's being used to trigger this buyer's escalation clause. If the buyer includes that language, then the seller would be obligated to provide the buyer with copies of those competing offers if this seller wants to trigger this buyer's escalation clause. Thank you for joining us for another installment of From the Mailbag. For more information on this topic, be sure to check out the companion Letter of the Law video, which is linked in the description. If you have questions or suggestions for new topics, please send them to the email listed below. Based on the input we receive from you, as well as the Michigan Realtors Legal Hotline, our legal team will continue to work on content to help you as a realtor. Again, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.